Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over a Amon build video. I wanted to go quite heavily into the shield and whip kind of play style. Kind of reminds me of going back to like Athena, for example, from the pre-sequel. One of my favourite characters ever to play as through the Borderlands series. Amon is a big brute, 7-foot absolute daddy, and I want it to represent that in this build. So we're getting full tank style play, a lot of frost damage and quite a bit of utility for group play, at least hopefully anyways. I can only go off of a skill tree instead of actual gameplay at the moment until the game releases, but on day one, unless Harlowe blows me out the water, I think this is the build I'm actually going to go for. I think Amon might be my day one. So for this build, we are going to be focusing a lot on the revenge tree and a little bit into the neuromechanical tree. We're not touching onslaught this time around, but I feel like you can do some really fun melee damage in this, mix it with revenge as well. But we're going to stick with the blue tree. Obviously first, take the action scale whip and shield, which Amon will equip a shield to absorb all frontal damage and convert it into Vengeance Fire. While Vengeance Fire is full, the shield will provide damage reduction. If Vengeance Fire is not obtained within a period of time, it will be quickly consumed. Press, I'm assuming F, because this is converted over from wherever the footage was. Press F for a forging wave, dealing freezing damage to enemies it passes through, consuming damage from a Vengeance Fire boost. And that will be the whip side of it. Our first 5 points are going to go into Nature's Wrath, which improves Amon's status effect application rate and freezing efficiency. When he activates an action skill, the effect is doubled. Numbers off the top of my head, it's 25% for each freezing efficiency and application rate, and doubled with an action skill active when you have the shield out, which is perfect because the whip will deal frost damage as well, so can't go wrong there. Our next 5 points are going to be going into Comet Tail. When Amon causes artillery damage, I'm unsure what they mean by artillery damage. I'm assuming just damage in general, or maybe the ordnance damage. There is a chance that the frozen status effect will be applied, causing continuous freezing damage for a period of time. Comet Tail is affected by status effect infliction rate, so that stacks really well with application rate and efficiency. So we're just going to go for these two, build up that frost damage. Next up we have our augment, which is Freeze Beat. When launching the whip, Amon will taunt the enemy and sending out a freezing pulse every second, causing freezing damage to the enemy and restoring the health of allies. While Amon's movement speed is reduced, but Amon's gun damage will gain bonus frost damage, and each shot will consume vengeance. I wanted to pick this up because I'm going to be playing multiplayer on day one, and I would like to take the aggro. The HP restored is great as well. I'm assuming it does it for you if you are close by and not just your allies, but you can't really go wrong with it. Keep you nice and tanky. So moving further down, we've got Ancient Way. We'll go 5 points into this. Just increases the frost damage dealt by Amon, so it'll be 25% increased cold damage. And we're also going to take Hail of Bullets, 2 points into here. Amon's bullets have a chance to ricochet as elemental echoes, causing frost damage. It's a 6% chance and 50% of the damage dealt, which is quite a lot of damage actually to have that ricochet. You don't have to put these points in at all, but I really wanted to. I had 2 points left over, so I wanted to put these two into here for Hail of Bullets. And moving on into the split of 3, we're going to be focusing on the middle split, and we're going to go Ice Rage, which is a kill skill. When you kill an enemy with freezing damage, you will gain a layer of freezing adaptability for a period of time. The stacking of freezing adaptability will increase the damage of the gun. So, kill an enemy with freezing damage, which the only thing we'll be really using throughout all of this, and we just gain damage, which again, it's just going to stack up won't even notice it. In the background, passive for just increased damage. It's 5 layers, I'm assuming 25% once you've got 5 points into it. So our last 5 points in the revenge tree is Winter Kiss. When Amon causes artillery damage, it will consume the corresponding number of frozen adaptability stacking layers according to the number of nearby enemies, generate tracking echoes and cause ranged frost damage. A lot of the time, gonna have the shield out, gonna be quite close range, so for me this is perfect just to get that extra bit of range. That'll pair really well with the hail of bullets up here as well, whenever we do use our weapon. And then finally we'll grab the Glacier Mania Capstone. Firewall is now Ice Frenzy. Hold F to swing your forged steel whip, hitting nearby enemies twice and dealing frost damage, then slamming the ground, creating a frost rift that deals frost damage and leaves behind a source of frost for a while. I saw this in the trailer and I think this is the spinning dual whips, and I just really want to use it. I think it's going to be good. I think the whole thing with the frost damage build up and everything is going to make this perfect. So yeah, we're going to go for our Capstone with Glacier Mania. Okay, so we got to this point and I was pretty happy with the skill tree, and I could have just put more points into the blue tree, but I really wanted to spice it up a little bit, so I moved over here. We're going to go Before the Storm. We're going to go 3 points into here for kill skill, increase the elemental damage caused by Amon for a period of time. You can go 5 points here, but I really wanted to split it up and get 2 points into cast iron, which is improves Amon's forging skill cooldown rate and gun control. I don't care for the gun control, but the cooldown rate I'm a big fan of, so more uptime for our forging skill. Can't really go wrong. And next up we've got Destroy the Bionic Body. Increases Amon's forging skill damage and detonation damage. Again, the whip going to be strong, so increase that. That should go up to 20%. No, yeah, 20% if you put 5 points in, so 16%. Yeah, and I didn't put 5 points in here because I wanted 1 point into Tempering Fire, which seems a bit strange to me because you can put 5 points into it, but it seems like it should be 1 point. But Tempering Fire. Forging Drone skill. When Amon activates the Forging skill, it will spawn a Tomahawk Forging Drone that will attack nearby enemies for a period of time, causing burning melee damage. If the Tempering Fire is already active, activating the Forging skill will fully reset the duration of all active Forging Drones. I don't know if this is even going to work, but if I can have floating axes around me whilst running the whip and the shield, then perfect. I kind of wanted to go into that like kind of part minion forging aesthetic. So yeah, Tempering Fire 1 point. Then we'll go 4 points into Bellows. When Amon activates the forging skill, its gun damage will be increased for a period of time. This one, I can take it or leave it because I'm not going heavy into that gun damage. I want it to be more action skill orientated. But if you're not fancying the increased gun damage, you can go for crit hit rate or electric damage. I also went 1 point into Twin Rages because if this one does work, the Tempering Fire, the Twin Rages will give me frost melee damage as well, so I'll have 2 drones, which, again, the more drones the better for me. I like the idea of having multiple drones out at once to just wreck everything whilst I have a shield and a whip. Right, so we're going for a bit of a split here because basing it off the fact that I can have drones, we're going to go to the far left. We're going to take Tempering Ice. That will basically give us a hammer as well, dealing frost melee damage. And then I also took Tempered Lightning, which should give us a sword as well for just melee and stuff, and having loads of drones roaming around. Again, they're not really going to do too much damage, but any additional damage is good for me. Maybe later down the line I might do a build just surrounding these completely, or we could remove a couple points and increase these if the damage is lacking or if it seems like there's more potential for this to hit. And then our last 5 points are going into Permafrost. When Amon freezes an enemy, A freezing hazard source will be generated under the enemy's feet, causing freezing damage for a period of time. If I'm going to be freezing a lot of enemies, this is perfect for AoE control and basically just wiping out small, well, tight rooms. Because if I can put the entire floor in frost damage and freeze everything, then I can't really go wrong. So yeah, that's the build video all done. We've gone 22 points into the green tree and 27 over into the revenge blue tree. On here it doesn't show his passive, and I'd really like it to, but I've completely forgot what his passive is. I think it like activates a detonation on enemies. I think that's what it is, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, not really a crazy interesting video if you're not into build videos, and it's kind of just a skill tree sheet throughout the entire thing. But either way, I hope you enjoyed and have a good day.